Scales are such a very, very important part of our studies. They are put here right now, and we're only doing one octave, okay? But one octave gives us all the means to really work our hands, to get our hands to be able to play a series of notes evenly. So when you're asked to play things on the piano, they start moving around. You want to be able to play those ideas that come to your mind that you're learning so accurately. How to play them smooth is another whole mechanic. This is what is involved. Your fingers have to develop the strength and the agility and the evenness and the sensitivity within the fingers, and how to make the turns and connecting notes and all. Very, very important. So I would give it a lot of focus, even though this is a topic that we think of scales with piano studies, that, I don't need to do scales. Well, I think you might find by doing them a little bit every day, you'll find how they're going to directly connect to improvisation, chordal harmony, and just overall, in general, what I'm looking at it right now, for the most part for you, is for technique, is to get your hands moving, being able to play lines, a series of notes evenly, and without having, you don't want to be playing a scale and have... You want to be able to play that even. And you'll find that even with an electric piano, you still can develop a technique, okay? It's very, very important to understand that. You still will develop technique with this, okay? So give yourself the time with this smooth, even attack, okay? You'll be really glad you did, okay? You could challenge yourself with the metronome, I find with the metronome, you can keep it set 2, 3, you can set this, but I think for the most part, if you have a metronome here, I would probably set it bo-dee-da-da-da-da-da, so you're actually playing eighth notes, so it'd be easier to count. That's a lot easier than setting it up here where you have a metronome playing. It's a lot easier to be thinking eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, it's much easier to be thinking that. So when you use a metronome, try to set it up with eighth notes. Okay, or quarter notes, and you're playing eighth notes in the right hand. Okay. Now, we're going through, we got these whole notes in the left hand, which are wonderful. Try to keep these whole notes, C, A, F, G, all into one hand. The shape is going to stay the same, okay? And we're going to walk through these things, okay? The big thing is step 2 when you start doing, let's do a couple from step 1 first, okay? So we're going to go right through, here we go, back. Here we go. Nice, firm, accurate control. Even with electric piano, you still can develop some technique. You get more technique, of course, using a real acoustic piano because you have a little bit more resistance, but you still can develop the even control you need. D. A. And then E. And B. So if you keep that shape in the left hand, it'll be easier for you to find these left hand patterns, but I do have them written on the page for you to use, so you don't have to so much put them to memory. Okay, and then if we go to B flat, let's go to B flat now, and I want to take step 2. The big thing here with step 2 is you're starting off with B flat. Then you can go to any other note in the left hand. And flat. So step 2 should be your primary focus, because you start off with a scale tone for the root, which is B flat, and then you want to play, and every time you go up, you want to play another scale note. Every time you go down, play another scale note. And you can stay there within that scale and work it out a little bit. And by you going to each of these different tones, degrees of the scale in the left hand, you could not be doing anything better to really get tuned into what notes are in the scale. Scales will take on a characteristic that they become very automatic in the right hand after a while. And you're really not tuning into what notes are flat and what notes are really in the scale, because your hand becomes more automatic, more machine-like. By doing this left hand whole note thing, it really lets you say, oh, the G is in that B flat scale. Oh, and it's the C and the D. You'll see clearer just by asking your hand to play another degree of the scale. It's really a very clever kind of way to kind of get the job done. So anyway, as you complete all scales, you should feel very proud of yourself here. Keep the left hand whole notes under one shape, at least in step 1. Step 2, you're free to go all over the place. Have a ball, okay? Enjoy these things. Appreciate the value they're going to hold.